Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke if you're new here, and if you're not new here, you already know me. I'm trying to do like a face cam on this video, so bear with me. That's why I have the headphones in, because I'm recording a voiceover as well. So we're gonna try this out. I am going to be tier ranking every book that I read this year. So you can see on the screen that I have 5 categories. So the first category is my all-time faves. The next category is still great. The next category, number 3, is somewhere in between. And then number 4 is just okay. Number 5 is DNF or almost DNF'd. So I would say that these equate to DNF or almost DNF'd would be like 1 star, just okay would be 2 stars, somewhere in between would be 3, and then still great is 4, all-time fave is 5. So I just didn't want to call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because I thought it would be boring. So we are going to drag the books over. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. As you can tell, I'm doing this on Microsoft Word because I couldn't figure out the tier ranking thing. It was kind of being a handful. So I'm doing it on Word instead. I don't know. So we'll see how this goes. And these books aren't in any particular order either. They're just as they are. The first book on this list is Love at First Like. This was like a romance novel. It was a contemporary kind of thing. It was fine, but it certainly wasn't amazing. I do not remember how many stars I gave this, but I'm gonna drag it into the just okay category. The next one is Out of My League by Sarah Sutton. Sarah Sutton is a fellow author tuber, and I loved this book so much. I just thought it was so much fun, and I'm gonna put it in the still great category because it's YA. This is a YA kind of like romance. It was very sweet and cute. It's not something that I would typically read, which is why I'm not putting it in an all-time fave. It's not like a genre that I would really read. Like, I read a lot of YA fantasy, but I don't read a ton of YA romance. I usually read adult romance or YA fantasy with romance elements in it. So it's super different from what I normally read, but it was so good, and you should go check out her books. The next one is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Sarah J. Maas is my favorite. If you've watched any videos on my channel before, you know that I am the biggest Sarah J. Maas fan. And Queen of Shadows is one of the best books in the Throne of Glass series. So it is going in all-time faves. If I could give it more than 5 stars, I would. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I had really high hopes for Six of Crows. It was really hyped up in the BookTube community, and I honestly didn't like it very much. I found it confusing. When I started the book, I started reading it, and I was like, is there something else that I need to read before this? Because I was honestly just so confused. So I'm gonna put it in the DNF / almost didn't finish. I almost didn't finish it. I almost put it down. I don't want to be that harsh about it. Like, I did like it at the end. I thought it was very good at the end, but the first half of the book, I was so confused and I didn't know what was going on, and I almost didn't finish it. I did buy the sequel, and I'm gonna try and read that. This author is very talented, and I can understand why people did like this book, but it wasn't necessarily for me. I don't know. Okay, so the next book on this list is The Assassin's Blade. This is the prequel book to the Throne of Glass series. For some reason, the cover is mirrored. I don't know what happened here, but this is 100% in my all-time fave category. It's funny because you wouldn't think like a prequel would be, but it was incredible, and the depth and information that it added to the main trilogy is not a trilogy. The main series was just incredible. If you didn't read The Assassin's Blade, but you read the rest of them, like, what are you doing? The Cruel Prince. So The Cruel Prince, I'm actually rereading right now. I read it, and then I didn't pick up the other 2 in the series, so I'm rereading it so that I can read the next 2. It's funny, I was just watching a video, and somebody said that the last book was, like, not good, which concerns me a lot because I don't love this. I'm gonna put it in the somewhere in between category. Like, I don't hate it, but it's also not, I don't know, I think the beginning definitely didn't draw me in. The last, like, 150 pages or so of The Cruel Prince were really good, but I don't know, it seems a little bit like too, I don't know, it's just different from what I'm used to. The next one is The Goodbye Summer. I honestly don't really remember reading this, which isn't a good sign. I don't think it was terrible. I'm just gonna put it in just okay. I don't think it was great. The next book is The Kiss Quotient. This was a great book. This is by Helen Hong. So this book was I think it's an adult romance, and the main character has Asperger's, and it was such a great book. It was really adorable, and I enjoyed reading it so much. So, okay, the next one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This one it was interesting. So I think it was just like not what I wanted to read at that time. I struggled with it because it was very like dark, and I just wasn't really, that's not really what I needed at that point, and I didn't really know that it was gonna be like that. But it was a very good book. It was very like introspective, and I think it was really important, and I mean I read it in like one or two sittings, so it was good. It was very good. Like, this category is not, it doesn't necessarily mean I didn't like them. Throne of Glass, I mean, where am I gonna put this other than in my all-time fave? I don't know what else I can say about that. I love Sarah J Maas. I love the Throne of Glass series. Yeah, Tower of Dawn was great. I'm not gonna say that it was my all-time favorite because I missed the other characters being in the book, because this was mostly Nesrin, Kael, and Yrene. But I did like it. I did really like it. I love Kael. He's one of my favorite characters. Twilight. Okay. So if I was talking about the first time I read Twilight, it would be in my all-time faves. It would be up here. But it definitely was just okay the second time I read it. It was a little bit hard to get through. I just like maybe wasn't in the right mood to read it. I don't know. But ooh, this one, Wired by Julie Garwood. So Wired is an adult romance about a hacker, I think. It's amazing. I actually loved it, and it's kind of like a weird thing, but the main character is a hacker, and then the love interest is an FBI agent, and it's like really tropey, but like I like it. The next book is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It's like a personal development, kind of like self-helpy book. I have a whole review about this on my channel, but I did not particularly like this book. If you want to hear more about it, I will link the review in the description. I don't do many book reviews, so if that tells you anything, but yes, I almost didn't finish it. It took all my willpower. The next one is The 12 Dates of Christmas. I enjoyed this one immensely. It is just a cute little romance novel. It is a Christmas romance novel, and I thought it was just so sweet and fluffy and so fun to read. The next one is A Court of Frost and Starlight. I am putting this in my all-time faves category. A lot of people would argue with this. A lot of people don't like A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is the novella that goes after the first three A Court of Thorns and Roses books. I thought it was adorable. I thought the characters deserved the nice Christmas that they got to have together, or like winter solstice, whatever. I thought it was so heartwarming, and I just think they deserved everything in that book, all the joy that they got to experience. And I just loved I love the look into like kind of just the basic life of them, and people were complaining that like nothing happened, and I was like, that's the point. Like, I just loved being able to just see their daily life and like how things were going when they weren't at war, and yeah, I thought it was adorable. Well, we all know where A Court of Mist and Fury is going, I mean, and these two as well. I don't really know, like, I can't really separate these books into different categories because I mean, if I had to separate them, I would say A Court of Wings and Ruin was probably, I'm not gonna say like I liked it the least, but it would probably be one step lower. I loved the first book. I think that the first books in series just hold a special place in my heart. Like, the first book in any series is just like what introduced you to that series, and it's really hard to say like, I don't like that book. Like, how could you not like the book that introduced you to like this wonderful reading experience? So A Court of Thorns and Roses is going up there. Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. Well, Crescent City was incredible. It definitely started out a little bit slow. It did. I'm not gonna lie, but so did Six of Crows, and everybody loves Six of Crows. Crescent City was long. It was about 800-ish pages, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it was like 803 or something. So it was very long, and it took a little bit to get into. I definitely took notes just a little bit during Crescent City because it was a lot to keep track of, but it was incredible, and I'm already planning my reread of it before Crescent City 2 comes out in November. Crown of Midnight. So I would put Crown of Midnight down here. I think I liked it. I definitely loved it. I mean, it's part of the Throne of Glass series, but I was really sad because I really liked Dorian and Chaol, and then like Selena left them, and like, I don't know. Empire of Storms, I loved. Not to mention the fact that it's my favorite cover. That didn't influence anything, definitely not, but I loved Empire of Storms. Again, Throne of Glass. Foundry Side was another one. I'm gonna put it down here. I almost DNF'd this one. It was a very tough read. I think I'm gonna try again, but it just wasn't my style of book. It's not to say that it's not a good book. It just wasn't my type of read. Next we have Heir of Fire. This is the third, fourth? I don't even know. I'm gonna put this here. It wasn't memorable enough to like distinguish it from the other books, but I mean, obviously it was good. Kingdom of Ash is going down here as well. I just feel like the further you get into this series and the more you read, you love it because you love the characters, but I'm not gonna like say that Kingdom of Ash was perfect. The beginning of Kingdom of Ash was very hard. The first like 160 pages were all just like, we're in this war camp, we're in this war camp, and it was very, very hard to read. And then after that, I just sped through it, but yeah, it was not easy to read for the first couple hundred pages. And the very last book that I read this year is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, which I recently found out is 2 people. I did not know that. In a Holidays, I'm gonna say it was somewhere in between. So In a Holidays was a cute little romance novel. It was a Christmas romance novel, and the main character, she is reliving like a day over and over again. Not even reliving a day, but like she's going back to the day and getting to relive like a few days over the Christmas holidays. My only qualm with this book, like I thought it was cute and I was rooting for the two to get together the whole time, but I didn't really have a connection to them. Despite feeling like I wanted them to get together, I finished the book and I realized like there was not a ton of character building, and I was a little bit disappointed because I don't think that any of the characters were particularly well developed, so that was definitely something that I could have used a little bit more of, but it kind of depends, because at the same time, like, it is a romance novel. The primary thing that you're looking at is romance, but, you know, I mean, you kind of do want a little bit of character development as well. I don't think that there was a lot of character development done for the main character, but yeah, so anyways, that is it for my tier ranking. I am super, super excited to have done it. I've just, you know, I've been thinking about it for quite a while and I just never have. This, I should mention, is a collab with Angela Ann, and we both did this video. We're both going to post today. So I will link her video at the end of this one, and you should definitely go check it out because I'm sure she's read a ton more books than I have. I'm super excited to watch her video as well, so definitely pop on over there and go check it out and subscribe to her channel. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel as well, and comment down below if you have ever tier ranked your books before. If you haven't, you should, because it's super fun. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!